Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana makes car selling fast and easy from start to finish. Enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds, down to the penny. If you accept, Carvana will come pick up your car from your driveway. Or you can drop it off at one of our car vending machines. Either way, you get paid instantly. It's fast, transparent, and 100% online. Car selling that saves your time. That's Carvana.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
The Rita Cosby Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And Dominic Carter here with you lovely folks, you amazing Americans, in for Rita Cosby. Rita has the night off. My great honor to be here with you. Plenty of time for us to chat. And so I'm going to get some of my tweets in just a moment at Dominic TV, But here's what's coming up that's going to be very interesting in the next 12 to 14 hours, give or take. The hunter has become the hunted. And it's a different game. It's such a different game. When they were fingerprinting Trump and taking Trump's mugshots, it was justice. It was no one's above the law. Now, the New York Attorney General on federal mortgage fraud allegations is being arraigned Friday in Virginia. And one of the things that was interesting driving back, I often don't do this. I often don't torture myself like this. But every now and then, it's my job to monitor what everyone is saying. Turned on MSNBC on the radio. And they were screaming bloody murder. There's no case. How could Trump do this against Letitia James? We'll deal with that in just a second. Her arraignment coming up in just hours on Friday in Virginia on federal mortgage fraud charges. So looking at my Twitter, again, Dominic Carter here with you. Obviously, I'm not Rita Cosby. The number to reach us right now, 800-848-9222. Jimmy Fontanez says, actually, Dominic, James Flippin filled in for you earlier today. Well, thank you for that, Jimmy, as well as for a number, Judith in Brooklyn, and a number of you that have told me that. And then Jimmy went on to say, as it relates to one of the callers that said that Mr. Sliwa and Mr. Cuomo should flip a coin to see who's going to run against Mamdani. Jimmy says, flip a coin? Yo, that's some cornball kind of whatever the next word. I don't want to even say it because I'm not sure. The lovely DMS, she refers to Stan, and she says, Stan calls up yelling and screaming like he's a voice of authority when he's a buffoon. And she says, so Stan thinks JFK's swimming pool he built was fine. Obama's basketball court and underground piping for over $300 million were just fine and dandy. I'm sure Mrs. JFK would have preferred there wasn't a swimming pool, and I could have done without all that too. The lovely Catherine Trunk. Catherine says here, she says, that was the best laugh of the day. Good response to Stan. Meet Mr. Click. I'll say again, Rita Cosby has a lot more patience than I do, and I see all of your calls. Gene in Mount Vernon wants to talk about the NBA point shaving, corruption, and so on. Tony in Clifton, Morty in New Jersey, Russ in White Plains, John in Queens. But let's start with the New York Attorney General here on the Rita Cosby Show, Letitia James. She was outside her home as she is about to appear Friday in Virginia on federal mortgage fraud, and she was asked about the ICE raids on Canal Street.
Good morning, Ms. James. Ms. James, do you have any comments with the ICE raids happening downtown? Does the AG's office have any opportunity to do any?
We sent out information. We need video. Thank you.
We sent out information. We need video. What she's referring to, she announced a new portal where residents can upload photos and videos of ICE operations so that they can be investigated.
Here we are in Washington, D.C., and it is shut down. But now here, it's both Pennsylvania's voice here in the U.S. Senate. Even
obviously, that's the wrong soundbite there. That's on the government shutdown. What I am looking for is soundbite number 51. 51.
Attorney General Letitia James announcing a new portal where residents can send photos and videos of ICE operations. James says the portal is meant to review and investigate legal violations by agents, and her statement referenced Tuesday's immigration raid in Chinatown in New York City. Meantime, House Democrats say they will launch their own similar ICE tracker. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi criticizing that effort, citing a sharp increase in violence against law enforcement.
And so, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the morning. You know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. When it was Trump, no one's above the law. No one's above the law. So we'll get to the issue of the president building a part of a wing, a big dining room, not dining room, a place where they can entertain large crowds, world leaders, which the White House doesn't really have now. And let's face it, Mr. Trump has 3 more years in office. This is about the future. He's doing this for future presidents. And it's a wonderful thing to do. We'll deal with the government shutdown, lots of things going on. Let's see here. Let's go to Gene, line 3 in Mount Vernon. Gene, what's on your mind?
Dominic, you're not as old as I am. I'm 88. But
wow.
I remember the names of those Italians from a long time ago being mobsters, and I'm so surprised now that we're hearing about them nationally involved with basketball, of all things.
Well, but Gene, but basketball from college, even high school these days, it's big business. You know they're going to try and get their claws into it, as Kash Patel noted at the news conference.
Claws are right, Dominic.
So you're not surprised at all?
Well, I am surprised, but you're saying claws. I'm repeating your word, and I'm saying claws like lion claws. You're right.
Right. Well, this is going to be one big mess. Thank you, Gene, for the. Go ahead, Gene.
Yeah, it is going to be a big mess, and it's a national thing now.
Right.
It's not
unfortunate.
Just New York.
It's very unfortunate. Thank you for the call, Gene. Wow, 88 years young. Let's go to line 2, Morty in New Jersey. Morty, what's on your mind here on the Rita Cosby Show?
Hey, Dominic, I applaud you for your patience. I wouldn't be as patient with Stan, but it seems like everyone's talked about, all the additions that the presidents did to the White House. I mean, the Oval Office.
Morty, let me just say this, and then I'm done with Stan. Every time I listen to this guy, right? So I'm in the studio getting ready for my show, and Rita takes everyone's call, just like I do. And listening to this clown, it's like listening to someone run their nail on a chalkboard. He hates Trump. He never knows what he's talking about, ever. And it's a complete partisan argument every single time. But anyway, go right ahead, please.
Like I always said, I mean, if Trump were to find the cure for cancer, he would find a reason to hate him for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, like I said, I'm not gonna take up the time talking about all the presidents doing the additions and the FDR did the Oval Office and the West Wing and JFK the Rose Garden, whatever.
Of course,
anyway,
you know what, Morty? Let's keep it real here, right? There are rules and regulations, but presidents, especially when it comes to their residence where they live, they do what they want. Obama built a basketball court. Nobody said zip. The guy loves basketball. Let him have his basketball court. Now Trump wants to make it better for future generations of presidents. And Democrats, they hate Trump. They can't beat him on anything. So they harp and nitpick on everything. Go ahead, Morty.
Who wants to eat in a tent at the White House? I mean, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the first thing was these comments. 4 weeks ago, I listened to you saying about the numbers and logistics and your opinion on Curtis, and I silently agreed with you, even though I didn't want to. Now I fully agree with you, and I'm vocal about it. These comments that I'm getting on Instagram, where I'm trying to rationalize people saying if you're voting for him, you're giving away your vote to the socialists. And these people are saying, no, Cuomo should drop out, and therefore Curtis...
Morty, you don't know what's going on online. You don't know what's going on. I don't even know if those are human beings. Number one.
I question it.
Number two. You know how Beyonce has her beehive? That's what it's called online, where if you say anything negative about her, they pounce. That's what's going on with Mr. Sliwa. If you say anything, he's got like 5 or 10 people. I don't know if it's him. I shouldn't say it's him. He's got like 5 or 10 people, and they attack and pounce on anyone that goes against him. But here's the truth. The joke is on them, because in 10 days, you're not going to create this magic where it's going to change the numbers in the mayor's race. In 10 days, give or take, this is a wrap. It's over. And it's either you're a spoiler or maybe you did a little better than before. But those are the two options. And that's it. Go ahead, Morty.
That's what I was saying. I just said essentially, look, if you're going to get hit by a truck that's going to brake at the last few seconds versus getting mowed over by a train at 100 miles an hour, I'll take the truck because I'm going to live. But there is no neither, which is voting for Curtis. And I just said, look, just make sure that you eat your cake when you make it. That's it. And the second thing is, I hear this clip on the commercials on the show that Letitia James saying, in order to prove fraud for mortgage, there needs to be intent, and that's a really high standard. And I feel like she got her law degree or law license out of a cereal box, because you don't need to prove intent to commit mortgage fraud. Because look, I'm in real estate. This is literally bones to nuts. This is the easiest thing to do. You don't need to be intent on committing a fraud.
You're correct.
To commit a fraud.
Absolutely. The documents don't lie. That's all you need.
She is beyond cooked. She's done. She's literally done. It's so. I'm like, not that I'm ever cheering for anyone's downfall. I'm just waiting to grab my bowl of popcorn to see how she goes about this, because she's in really deep. You know what? And that's just the way it is. It's crazy. And have you seen what her? I don't know if it's her niece that's living in the house.
Oh,
she's
yeah, the hot mess. The hot mess. Yes, I have.
Right. She's gotten like a record or whatever. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to applaud you for you have way more patience than I do. Every time I hear, I just want to jump out of my car and just play in traffic. Seriously, withstand.
Well, thank you for the call, Morty. I'm late for a break. Don't jump out of traffic. He's not worth it. He's a bitter old man that does not know what he's talking about on anything. And his little claim to fame is when he calls Rita to argue with her, not understanding that Rita is just being nice to him because he's an old man and she's respectful of her elders, and she knows that he damn sure doesn't know what he's talking about. We're coming right back.
The Rita Cosby Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com. This is the Rita Cosby Show.
And Rita has the night off. Dominic Carter filling in for her. I hope she's relaxing and trying to have some fun. Boy, does that lady work hard for the money. Let's go to line 5. Dominic Carter here with you. John in Queens. John, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. Your show is fantastic tonight. I'm a New York City special ed public school teacher, and last night I thought it was very interesting to see how little, the candidates spoke about education in a real substantial manner. There's 1 million public school students, and about a quarter of them are special ed students. And I work in District 75, where our most important students,
John. Did I just hear you correct? I know about the 1 million students. You're telling me that 25% of that 1 million student are special ed?
Yep. Yes, 25%. And 26,000 are in District 75. And, I want, in my opinion, most or many of the, things that they're talking about, affordability, police, homelessness, can be solved by proper education. Our scores plummeted after COVID. The math scores, the science scores, the ELA scores, they just plummeted and plummeted and plummeted. The services and special ed schools, the staffing are all, troublesome. We need help there. We need better teachers, better related service providers. Sliwa, I'll give him credit, even though I'm supporting Cuomo because I think Sliwa should get out because of his polling numbers. Sliwa at least, made a good point. He said, let's cut the top jobs. And so this way we can, bring in better teachers. I don't know if you're aware, but they're promoting, lower level paraprofessionals to teachers because they're having trouble hiring teachers. So, I think education.
Why are they having a problem hiring teachers?
Because of salaries. The UFT, the United Federation of Teachers, the Union for Teachers, didn't support any candidate at first, which was very strange. They usually come out and support the Democratic, nominee. But since there wasn't any Democratic nominee, it was crickets. And then they supported Mamdani because he was, quote unquote, the Democratic Socialist nominee. Because, they saw his polling numbers, they saw what happened at the primaries. And tonight, they actually sent out a text to everybody, come out and help canvass him for winning. So they're just going where the money is. And they're worried about salaries, and they're worried about the money for everything else. So everybody should know this. Do you know,
John, what the starting salary is for a New York City teacher? Because I don't.
It's around, it's in the 50s, right now, $50,000.
No, come on, John.
60,000, maybe 60,000 approximately. That's all it is.
John, wait, are you serious?
Yeah, that's all it is. Top salaries around 110,000. Assistant principals are around 120,000. Principals around 140,000. That's in District 75 where I work. I don't know about other schools. So and New York. And by the way, New York is one of the top states. California and New York are top. And you go to Florida, you get like a fraction of that. Other states. So we're one of the top states, but we're still not getting enough. And the cost of living in New York is terrible. So,
right. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. John, I got to toss to a break, but thank you for the wonderful call, John in Queens. We are going to do exactly that here on the Rita Cosby Show, 800-848-9222.
The Rita Cosby Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Once upon a mundane morning, Barb's day got busy without warning. A realtor in need of an open house sign. No, 50 of them, and designed before 9.
My head hurts.
Any mighty tools to help with this plight? Aha! Barb made her move. She opened Canva and got in the groove.
Bulk creating Canva sheets. Create 50 signs fit for suburban streets.
Done in a click, all complete.
Sweet!
Now, imagine what your dreams can become when you put imagination to work at Canva.com.
Rita Cosby is on.
And Dominic Carter filling in for Rita tonight. Rita has a well-deserved night off. I hope she's enjoying it. I saw Rita just the other day. We sat next to each other as the owner of the Red Apple Audio Networks, John Catsimatidis, Margot Catsimatidis, honored by the State Broadcasters Association for the Top Broadcasting Award. So I had fun chatting with Rita, and we really had a good time. So let's talk about the ballroom for 47. Democrats would have you believe that he's committing a sin against humanity, that President Trump is robbing the American people, even though it's going to be paid for privately, even though Trump has a history, a long-time history of building the very best in America. None of that matters when it comes to Trump. Listen here to Donald Trump Jr. On the White House ballroom.
The Democrats freaking out about it is absolutely insane. I think the greatest irony that I saw in all of this was Hillary Clinton talking about it being the people's house. Hillary Clinton, who with her husband literally had to return furniture and silverware that they stole from the White House. That was actually the property of the people. They took it with them after their term. They had to return it because people caught them stealing the furniture. You know, she's the one that's leading the charge complaining about this thing. It's absolutely nuts. This is for the betterment of the property. It costs the American taxpayer nothing, and it's going to add value not just to my father's presidency, but to every president after him, because it's going to take some time to build. The reality is every president after him will get much more use and much more benefit from this incredible addition to the White House.
But why should common sense prevail that this is being done for this president, but more importantly, for future presidents? Why should common sense prevail that the president of the United States will have a state-of-the-art ballroom in the White House, something that should be there anyway? It's incredible, folks, the noise that comes from Democrats. Absolutely incredible. And Scott Adams, on his podcast, he's roasting Democrats for attacking Trump over the ballroom.
Is there even one person in the United States who's being impacted by the ballroom? Anybody? Are you guys okay? There's a ballroom being built. Everybody okay? And in order to build the ballroom, they're going to do, they have to knock down the building that was there. Are you all okay? Did anybody get knocked down when they knocked down the building? You're all okay? I was told this would be an emergency. It would be a problem. All right, I'm glad you're okay.
You can't make this stuff up. Let's go back to your telephone calls here on the Rita Cosby Show. Dominic Carter filling in. Line 5, Anthony in the Bronx, I'm sure calling to give me some type of headache about something. Let's go, Anthony. Go for it.
I don't want to give you a headache, Dominic. I want you to give me some advice.
Okay.
You know, everybody wants Curtis to drop out. What should us Republicans do? Are you asking us to vote for Cuomo?
What does your heart tell you?
I believe Curtis deserves this opportunity. You know, I don't know if it's 60% Democrat and these two split that. And
No. It's 70% Democrat. See, Anthony, you're trying to give a number where among three candidates, Mr. Sliwa can emerge. It's not going to happen. Excuse me?
Tell us to vote for Cuomo. Tell us to vote for Cuomo.
Why are you telling me what to tell you? What's the point? I don't. When people try and force me to say something, it makes me guarded. Why are you trying to make me say that?
Well, because I don't know what to do right now.
No, you just said Cuomo. You just said Sliwa. And so that's what you just said. I'm not going to answer your question because I feel like you're trying to trick me. I really do.
No, I just want, I want the city to work. And
if you want the city to work, the math is not clearly in front of you?
But if Curtis got 28% last time, I mean, he's not that far off.
Okay, he got 28% the last, but how much did he lose by?
But we were hoodwinked by.
No. Answer the question. How much did he lose by the last time?
50%.
He lost by 40%. It was a blowout.
Because we were hoodwinked and we thought, Eric Adams was a cop and he was going to, help us out in the city, and we were tricked.
Anthony.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm tired of having this discussion. Listen, maybe if a rat runs across the street, grabs every ballot, puts the ballot wherever they're supposed to be, maybe then the scenario, it's not going to change, Anthony. I'm going to say what I keep saying. You can slice this apple any way you want to. Whenever one of us points out the math in the race, with Beyonce, it's called her beehive, right? Where people, they attack the person that's giving the common sense. You guys can comment all you want to and say that Mr. Sliwa's going to win. The day after the election, I really want to see what you're all going to say. Here's what I believe. It was rigged. It was rigged. The day after the election, what's going to be the point, Anthony? Help me out. What's going to be the point?
Well, there's
no if. The day after the election, Mr. Sliwa is still going to be in third place. What are you going to say then?
If Mondami won the primary, that means if Curtis.
Okay, so you're just going to completely bypass what I just asked you because you want to go on to your next talking point, right? Okay.
I'm just asking questions here.
Okay, no. I asked you a question. I asked you a question.
We listen to you guys for
okay, I asked you a question. I asked you a question. The day after the election, what are you going to say?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep going and doing what I got to do to survive in this city.
Okay. So, Anthony, you asked my advice. I gave you my advice. And it's not just advice. I'm telling you what's going to happen. So, everybody's now telling you.
Win. I mean, that's it.
No, you're not going to win.
We're getting out of it. No, Mondami.
Anthony, I'm not going to waste my time anymore. Thank you for the call. That's ridiculous. You're not going to win. You could say it till you're blue in the face. And this is what has me concerned about my friend, Mr. Sliwa. You're letting these people take your entire life and career over a cliff. You have got to survive after this, Curtis. You keep listening to these nut jobs that are telling you, it's almost like who was it, Eddie Murphy in the skit, Jesse, you can win. You can win. Who was it, guys?
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like Eddie Murphy in that skit saying to Mr. Sliwa, Curtis, you can win. You can win. And then the day after the election, all of you people are going back to your lives. Mr. Sliwa is going to be standing there holding the bag with his reputation, career, everything up in the air. Let's go to Tony, line 1, Clifton, New Jersey. Tony, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I love President Trump because he's a good steward of everything he has, and he took care of New York. He took care of the White House. And when Truman was doing that renovation, it was so bad. One of the movies, I don't know if this is true, but it was like mice around because nobody ever took care of the White House. But I want to talk about New York tonight because in the debate, New York is going to hell, or it's already there. And nobody mentioned what a thriving place it is where so many of us have worked and gotten our, retirement from businesses. And nobody mentioned, as John has been saying, that all the businesses are leaving the city. You're taxing the corporations, payroll taxes. It's been terrible. And there's going to be no one working there. And so all the empty buildings are going to be for like freeloaders now.
Hey, Tony, hold on 1 second here. Why should that get in the way of a good story? The fact that New York may look like Detroit when the lights couldn't come on, why should that get in the way of a good story? Go ahead, Tony.
I know. And it's like, Dominic, I get it. We have a big issue because we have a communist running. But Cuomo, to me, could have done more than he did. And Curtis mentioned it, talking about what the working people are missing. They can't afford to pay for their food. They can't afford the cost of living. And
I got
we're
all of
worried
that,
about,
Tony. But Tony, we're 10 days from the election. Why is
Too
all
late.
of that relevant now?
It's not even a mention of it, though. So that means what we're in for is what we're in for. And that's, it is what it is, Dominic. He's the lesser of the evils. And you're right. But it's not going to be a lot. It's going to be just surviving in New York. And you're right. This is what we talked about. I agree with you. I just love New York, though.
Right. Well, we all do, but New York is so expensive. And Mom Donnie is such an empty suit. And
yep.
I don't know, Tony. I don't know. It's
who cares? It's like, who cares? But all those empty buildings, nobody's working. And Montana keeps talking about we need free busing because 1 in 5 people can afford to pay for a subway ride. That was his number. I mean, where did you get that from? Is anybody working there?
Tony, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Those are talking points that some consultant put in his head, and he memorizes the lines and spits them out. And he knows, here's the one thing he knows. He knows how to do it with confidence. So it comes across as these are his ideas when really they're not. Thank you for the great call, Tony. Let's go to Eduardo, line 5 in Tampa, Florida. Eduardo, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, it's been a while since I called, but I know you guys are busy over there with that election. I really feel for you guys. I mean, I can relate because a couple years ago I moved from Chicago to Tampa because of Mayor Johnson's election. So I'm afraid it's kind of heading that way, but hopefully, let's pray for the best result. And Dominic, before I go, let me ask you, what do you think about these boat attacks in Venezuela? Like, I totally support President Trump's decision on attacking these boats. So what is your take on that, in your opinion?
I think it's the best thing that's ever happened in America. Blow them up more. I really do.
Yeah,
because it puts the fear
Colombian
of God.
President, he's a little, I don't want to say the P word, but I understand he used to be a former member of FARC, so that's not surprising he has that attitude.
It puts the fear of God in these narco terrorists, blow them up and show it every day to the American people.
Yeah.
Eduardo, thank you for the wonderful call. And now it is time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Support Our Heroes segment.
The Rita Cosby Show presents Support Our Heroes.
And folks, coming back from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, maybe 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, I know this is a bit old, but here's where my head was historically. I was thinking about, and this has been played out in Hollywood movies and so on, the Navy cook at Pearl River. Dory Miller, he famously manned that 50 caliber anti-aircraft gun, saving lives and earning the Navy Cross. I was thinking about people like Harold Brown, who was a Tuskegee Airman, a World War II pilot, who was shot down, became a prisoner of war. Just some of the names. And I like to sometimes go to military bases when you can get on base and see the young people, see the optimism of the future, to see that the numbers have returned with recruiting and then some with the branches of our military throughout the country. And it is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Folks, help America to never forget. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org. We are going to take a break here on the Rita Cosby Show. We see all of your telephone calls. We are coming right back.
The Rita Cosby Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
You know the words dominating today's headlines.
Private equity, generative capital gains tax, America's chip fueled by market volatility. Bets on Fed rate cuts are sweet.
But do you understand how they impact your world and your wallet? In a world that skims the what, understand the why. Because context changes everything. Subscribe at Bloomberg.com.
It's the Rita Cosby Show.
Dominic Carter here with you folks in for Rita Cosby, the home stretch of her show. If you're listening to me on a station that carries the Dominic Carter show, it will be beginning momentarily, but right now we're continuing with your calls on Rita's show. The lovely DMS just posted to my Twitter, to my X at Dominic TV. You know, Dominic, the callers raging on with you about Curtis seem to prefer Curtis over the survival of New York City. They do. They do. Because nobody in their right mind can think that there's any scenario where Mr. Sliwa is going to win this election. No one. Not one political consultant that knows what they're talking about is making that prediction. So DMS goes on to say, Mamdani is a committed member. He donates a portion of his salary to the DSA every month. I wish the downside, and she puts downside in parentheses, I wish the downside of Curtis losing wasn't so grave, but it is. And then she goes on, well, in the interest of time, but I'm going to leave it right there so that we can get right back to your telephone calls. Let's see here. Let's go to line 3. Nick, Freeport, Long Island, New York. Rick, that is. Rick is 97 years old. Is that true, Rick?
Yes, sir. I am 97 and I feel like I'm only 60.
Wow. So what's on your mind, Rick?
I've been blessed. I've been blessed with a very good body. Who knows why? What I wanted to talk about was this basketball scandal. Every once in a while, NBA, you get basketball scandals. But in 1950, I was a senior at CCNY. Are you familiar with that school?
CCNY, that's City College of New York, correct?
City College. That's the year we won the NCAA and we won the NIT. Now, this is unheard of for a city school to win. And they were played in the old garden on 58th Street and 8th Avenue. We got out of after we won the second game, we played the finals against Bradley, and we beat them both times. So we left, and then those tickets were 65 cents for college students. Imagine that.
Wow.
65 cents. We marched on 8th Avenue. We surrounded the Times Square building, and we chanted until they put the score up on their sign that goes around that building.
So Rick, we're short on time. What are you trying to tell me?
Well, the next year, we found out they were shaving points.
They were shaving points. So the same type of thing what we're dealing with right now.
Absolutely. It never changes.
Wow. Well, Rick, you're the man, 97 years old. Please don't be a stranger. Give us a call another night. Thank you. Let's go to Rita, line 1, New Jersey. Rita, what's on your mind here on the Rita Cosby Show?
Hi, Dominic. It's been forever.
Wow. Well, welcome back.
Thank you. So I actually wanted to call the past few days, but I just want to say I didn't see the election. Not the election. I'm sorry. I didn't see the debate. Correct. And I'm not going to tell you about my thoughts on Curtis. I mean, as much as I really, really want Curtis, we know that's not going to happen. So I wanted to talk about voter turnout. So in 2021, a little bit more than 23%, like I think it was like 23.5% of the voting population in the city, they voted. And that's a really low turnout. So this election, it's really, the stakes are really high. And I think there are going to be a lot of people that are disillusioned, and they're just going to say, well, my vote won't count because Mamdani, he's going to win. Okay. That's, it's not that these people are lazy.
No, Rita, I got it, but we have 10 seconds left to the show. What's your overlying point here?
My overlying point is that I guess, people need to be proactive, and there's...
Absolutely. Rita, we have to continue this another time. Folks, the Rita Cosby Show coming to a close. If you're listening to me on a station that carries the Dominic Carter Show, it's about to start.
Thanks for listening to The Rita Cosby Show. You can hear The Rita Cosby Show weeknights at 10 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.